Sloan Chopper Frost up there. Then looking to 7, Scott Moyer, 10, Andrew Stroud, Suzuki, back to 6, John Ross, Suzuki, 11, the first non-Suzuki is Tony Reeves back there in 5th place with another Suzuki there on the outside to get away, and we'll be keen to just get that one. Wasn't James, it might have been Jake. So and there you have it, a good start for the ILT Foundation and our Superbike update. Thanks for those listening online and for our good crowd that's coming here today. Of course, so much people that can enjoy it because they can sit in their car and just absorb all the sun and stay out of the breeze. As Spider as well pointed out, this is great weather for Teretonga. Not hot, not cold today, and as somebody said to me before, if there was ever a day for some lap records for the sidecars, it was likely to be today, because that is an air temperature which will be oh so good for the performance of a sidecar as well. So looking forward to catching them coming out shortly, but getting in this one round of racing today. So following our format that we'll have as well next week at Timaru, slightly different format for the final round at Hampton Downs. More on that coming up later, but we have our practice first thing, then we have our qualifying session, then we have round number 1, so effectively 3 sessions today, and then tomorrow 2 sessions, but they are longer races tomorrow on our program. So bring it on, the IoT Foundation Superbike, Spider.
A little bit hard to spot for some people because it's red on one side and Suzuki on the other side, but it's got NZSBK right across the Sloan Frost over the green season, the green start to the season. 3 wins last weekend in pole position on the winners. Sloan had even 3 wins in the New Zealand Superbike Championships. He's probably done 3. He won the first ever win was down here on the BMW, the Molly's BMW on the BMW some years ago. And it's the current lap record, but I tell you what, Scotty Moyer is absolutely on fire at this track. For some reason, I was talking to Rex Mincher, his teammate, and he said, why does he fire on the long flying circuit when he's an ex-motocrosser? James Smith, another Honda, Tony Reeves and Jake Lewis, who last weekend was running the Superstock 1000 class, but is elected to change over to Superbike. So the Superstock Superbikes out there. There's only 3 Superstock bikes out there. Number 22, the Barnes Attentions Insurance, Mad Love Media sponsors Toby Summers' machine. We've got number 20, which is the RSV4 Aprilia with Dylan Telford, and who was the other one, Neil?
I don't think we got a Dan Ormsby today. I don't know.
Kevin Beaumont as well, number 16.
Oh, Kevin. Oh, okay.
He had a crash at the airport last week.
Oh, Kevin, right, yes. And what about it as well? Come in, Spider, sorry to be so rude, but I tell you what, believe it or not, amongst those, it was the man back in 4th place. It's just done the fastest at 58.8. So John Ross, the fastest, faster than those boys in front. So that's now why you can see John in 4th place. See that freight train? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why they're going so well. So John Ross making the move through there. So there we are. The 4 Suzuki's on board. Scott Moyer, Sloan Frost, Andrew Stroud and John Ross. Fantastic. Al Hugenboozem up there and James Smith and Tony Reeves. So 4 Suzuki's in front, then 3 Hondas to go with the Suzuki of Jake Lewis up there now in 8th place ahead of Dylan Telford, so he's out of Superstock class, ahead of Toby Summers, who's ahead of Kevin Beaumont, also in that Superstock lineup as well. Ray Clee back in there with James Hugenboozem, local man John Beck and Aaron Scott as well, as we check out the fearsome foursome as a charge 4th, the 3 Hondas to go through, and this is a quality freight train. Man, this is so good to see, and what I'm talking about, folks, is believe it or not, as we go, the difference is from 1st to 10th place is 5.9 seconds, so less than 6 seconds to go 10 places, Spider.
Yeah, look at that magic move by Andrew Stroud up on the inside of fact, no, that was Scotty Moyer there on the... Oh, yeah, it was Andrew Stroud going up into second place, so that must be Scotty Moyer slipped down to third, and we see John Ross in fourth. Sorry, folks, my microphone was off. Thanks for those people pointing it out on the chat room. I do have time to sometimes flick across to there. The last lap was 0.08 of a second between first and second. I mentioned that while the mic was off, and now it's 0.421, so Scotty Moyer, yes, Scotty Moyer's out in the front there by 0.421 seconds.
And of course, for me to not know that Spider's microphone's off because he's standing right next to me and talking as if everything's normal. So our apologies, we can't pick it up if one of us is not electronically as wired the same as the other, and here's the fearsome foursome. So in fact, with the correction, Spider had it right that we'd seen Andrew Stroud go up into second place, but he'd actually put Sloane Frost back to third, giving Scott Moyer the advantage. Come on, where's the Penny Holmes man? John Penny, long-time supporter of great motorcycle racing in the Taupo region where his business started. He's now branched out. He's in Christchurch, he's in Auckland. He's an absolutely legend, all-round good guy, former top motocross star. He even had a bit of a dabble on the Tar Seal, of course, when he had to go at New Zealand V8 supercars with some great NZ V8 racing. So love you, JP, if you're listening out there or following your man Scott Moyer out there, liking the support that you're giving him and how well he's riding at the moment. So go Scott Moyer, go Taupo. So there it is, Scott Moyer from Taupo, ahead of Hamilton's Andrew Stroud. From Sloane Frost from Wellington, out of Christchurch is John Ross. Suzuki foursome Spider, she's looking pretty hot.
Oh yeah, look at the lap times. There's something like top four bikes, 3 of them are separated by 20,000ths of a second. 20,000ths of a second. The lap record is for Superbikes 58.274. We're running in the 58s. We're running in the 58s, and it is still Scotty Moyer. The lead is closed down. Andrew Stroud is hunting him down. We had 0.4 of a second 2 laps ago. It's now down to 0.228.
Andrew's just set the new fastest time out there, Spider.
Mate, he is on fire. Remember, this guy's been out of action for 4 seasons. He had a very, very poor session in the first practice session. What's happening, Andrew? He says, oh, I had a bit of a flat tyre. I just kept out there enjoying myself. And, mate, 4 seasons off a superbike, and look at the way he's coming back into it. And he got a 4th at the New Zealand Grand Prix despite dropping to the rear end of the field. And, you know, with an electrical
fault. He was at 15th at the end of lap number 1 and then had to work his way all the way back to 4th. So, yeah.
What a legendary return to superbike racing. And some people didn't think he could do it. Just it's also about fitness as well. He'd been fit for many, many years. That was his living in that. And to come back and get that strength back is absolutely incredible.
He was getting arm pump, and he said something he'd never had before, and that's for a lack of racing. So that shows you what fitness is. People think, oh, these guys are just riding a motorcycle. What's fit about it? Fit about it, you were just working the whole time on the bike. So it is super demanding, as Andrew Stroud's proving. Yes, the 40-plus-year-old super dad back out on his superbike and in second place. Scott Moyer, the race leader, by 0.292. Ahead of Andrew Stroud, who got that fastest lap in the previous lap, not this one, the previous one, at 58.642. That's within 4/100ths of a second of our lap record. Sloane Frost in third place from John Ross, still the 4 Suzukis, going to James Smith, Tony Rees, Al Hugenboozem, Jake Lewis. Toby Summers is now gone in front of Dylan Telford, Spider, so that's the lead in the super stock class, as the word suggests. The more stock bikes, not a super bike. So a stock bike, also 1000cc, in the Kawasaki now in front of the Aprilia.
A massive battle out there for the first 4 bikes. We've got a huge dice on between the 2 Hondas there of James Smith and Johnny Ross there. Johnny Ross, sorry, not Johnny Ross, James Smith, and it must be Tony Rees there according to our timing. I thought it might have been Alistair Hugenboozem, but a huge battle between those. So there it is, Moyer, Stroudy, Andrew Stroud, Sloane Frost, followed closely by John Ross, and there's the 2 Hondas there, and it is indeed James Smith goes through over and above Tony Rees and Alistair Hugenboozem, riding a little bit of a lonely race there, maybe 100 metres back, but this battle between these 2 Hondas. Remember this man, number 11, 48 years old, I think, Tony Rees, come down here for the Teretonga of the races and the entire Burt Munro Challenge and dominated here, had 3 wins, including the Robert Holt Memorial at the Cemetery Circuit this year. Didn't have a great weekend last year, but stayed upright, last weekend, sorry, at Ruapuna, but stayed upright. So a massive battle between the 2 Hondas. We're looking over to the hairpin, the 4 Suzukis out in the front there, and Scotty Moyer's got a bit of a break. I think John Ross is moving up there on Sloane Frost there. He's closing in on him as well. So Scotty Moyer's got maybe 50 metres over and above Andrew Stroud, but Andrew Stroud can come back from here. The white flag is almost ready to go out. We're looking for the white. Yeah, it is indeed the final lap for the first race of the Superbikes.
Yes. How good is that? Congratulations, Scott Moyer. He's pulled out a little bit of a buffer. That is even more. And has it turned into a time? No, it hasn't. Still the best time by Andrew Stroud back in lap 6. That's lap 9 completed as we check that foursome out. Unfortunately, online you don't see the picture unless you're looking at the results. The buffer, by the way, is 1.1 second. 1.1 for the first 4 riders. That's how close this is to watch world-class superbikes right here down under in New Zealand at Teretonga, the world's most southern road race circuit, and an inspiring performance out here by Scott Moyer. What is going on here? This is great to see. He knew last week, he's just such a calm guy, doesn't let it get to fluster him, but he just told me at the end of the event, no, wasn't happy, Neil, still had some improvement to make, things not going right, and talking to his team, they were just doing little improvements lap by lap, or more race by race back in the pits, and it's just seen the difference turned into this kind of result out here. So well done, and a special a shout out to Super Dad as well, who's out there doing all the work. Love the input from the family and Rex and the other Taupo guys. And there we go, checker flag, and great work. Well done, there it is. So well done. Hi to George out there. We're talking about his father before. And also to Dan Nicholson. Now, Dan's a young guy getting some assistance from him, but more importantly, Scott's doing a lot to help Dan in his debut year. He rode the Suzuki Series for the first time, and he says, I've come down here to pay back something for all the help that Scott's given me by helping him in the pit. So maybe it's that kind of difference that's going on behind the scenes. Well done indeed. Scott Moyer, his first win. Well, we don't know, Spider?
No.